The way it works in this brokerage industry is a lot of these guys don't put this on the market. They'll call each other, they email each other, hey, I'm putting this on the market. I want to talk to you about it because I know you're going to close on the deal. You know, these brokers are all know that each one of them is going to close. I think every agent should be an investor.
Sure.
If you're not investing, you should own real estate.
I'm really big on senior housing at this point, brother. You know, we're buying these distressed ALFs that got killed by COVID. The numbers are fantastic. They're even better than multifamily.
We bought a Chase Bank, but now here's the kicker. Okay. This Chase Bank was...
Welcome to another edition of Lifetime Cash Flow through Real Estate Investing. I'm Rod Khleif, and I'm thrilled you're here. And I've got my friend Joe Killinger on the show again today. And he's a real estate brokerage owner. He's an investor syndicator. He's got multiple companies. He's marketed over 6,500 properties. Let's get it right, Rod. And he's done transactions of just under $1 billion. So we're going to have a wide-ranging conversation. I'm very much looking forward to it. Good to see you, bro.
Hey, Rod. Thank you for having me back on. It's really good to see you.
Yeah, thank you, my friend. So
how do you stay tanned all the time?
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, good question. Really good question. I was just in Tijuana, Mexico last week getting stem cell shots in my knees. And then prior to that, I was on a cruise. So it was the cruise that got me the tan. But now I'm crazy schedule now. I'm going to San Antonio tomorrow for a couple of assets I've got there. And then I've got my Warrior training event this weekend in Phoenix. So it's kind of like a get together for some of my students, a few hundred of my students. So yeah, crazy few weeks, but next week I start to slow down, thank God. But
so I do want to talk to you off. We'll do it offline, but about the stem cell, because I've been thinking about that. I want to hear how that's working for you.
I actually would like to talk about it here publicly. In fact, I'm thinking I'm going to see if I can get the owner of the institute down there. It's the one Joe Rogan talks about. It's called CPI Institute. But I got to tell you guys, if you're listening, if you have an issue with your back, with your vertebrae, with your elbow, your wrist, your shoulder, even other parts of your body, your knees, look into platelet-rich plasma, PRP, or look into stem cells. Now, I've done both. I did PRP in my shoulders because I tore both my rotator cuffs, and I do flies, and I was doing 80 pounds in each arm, and I couldn't do 5 pounds in each arm. But I had the PRP. I had to go to Denver for this, but it was absolutely effective. It took me about 6 months to recover. It was fantastic. And then, I had I talked about this on my Instagram. I was calling it the butt capades because I had this horrible pain in my glute, and it was my performance, but it was because I have a pinched nerve. And I went to 2 emergency rooms, but then I went to a local guy here that does PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and he fixed it in like 3 days. The shots into my spine. But yeah, last week I was in Tijuana getting stem cells in my knees. The PRP wasn't enough for my knees, but the stem cells have been fantastic. So this was a follow-up. I did it the first time 6 months ago. Listen, guys, if you go to a surgeon, they're going to recommend you operate. You will regret it. I promise you. These knee replacements are so unnecessary. Fusing your spine is so unnecessary. This stuff's not cheap, unfortunately. Now the PRP is not bad. You can do it for $3 or $4 grand. Stem cells, if you do it right and you go out of the country, it can be as much as 20, 25 grand. But my God, it's worth it. I mean, to not have surgery and get fixed. So yeah, thank you for allowing me to take up your interview to talk about that. But I wanted to get this messaging out there. And if you guys need to be referred to anybody, just DM me on social and I'll hook you up. Okay. But I'm such a huge advocate for this. I'm even talked to the local guy that did the PRP. Literally, I messaged his team today and I said, hey, I'd love to have him on the podcast to talk about this because it's just groundbreaking stuff. So anyway,
I will be tuning in because, when you have pain, you can't focus on, what do you want? You just want to get over the pain. You can't focus on anything else.
I couldn't walk 30 feet without excruciating pain in my back. This was just 2 months ago. And I went and did this PRP and I was like, holy, and like within 2 days, I was healed. It was like 3 days done. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. And it was, what do they call it? Active X-ray guided. So there was, he's wearing a lead suit. looking, using an X-ray machine so that he shoots me right in the right areas of the spine. They take the blood out in the morning, they spin it and pull out the platelet-rich plasma, and then they re-inject it in the afternoon. And I've had it done now to my shoulders and my back to great success both times. So yeah, and I mean, now I can lift, 70, 80 pounds in each arm again, since my rotator cuffs are healed. So yeah, anyway, love it.
Does
But
insurance
anyway,
cover any of that?
no,
No.
unfortunately.
It's
It's
all
so
cash.
stupid. It's such a freaking travesty in this country. Hopefully, Kennedy can fix some of this, because
Yeah.
surgery is a hell of a lot more expensive than this.
Yeah.
And so, it's ridiculous. And, the FDA and the insurance lobby is just so strong, but it just doesn't make any sense because it's actually cheaper and it's effective. But anyway, so back to you, brother. I don't remember what we talked about last time you were on. You'll have to forgive me. You've been on a couple of times.
Yeah.
What are you up to these days?
We're doing a few things, Rod. It's, I'm
Okay.
still doing the invest. Actually, we're doing a syndication right now, but
Mhm.
we're doing it for single tenant net lease deals, and
Mm,
it's going to be a small syndication. We're going to raise about 5 million. I think we're pretty
mm,
much going to have friends and family is what we'll do,
uh-huh.
and our agents. We try and do. So I run. I'm a partner in Commercial Brokers International. I think every commercial real or every agent should be an investor,
Oh, for
and if
sure.
you're not investing, you should own real estate, home at least. But I'm trying to create a situation, kind of like a 401k for our agents. We're doing this syndication. They're going to be able to invest in. If they bring somebody in, then I'll give them a fee, and they'll be able to invest that in, so they'll own it. But
Mm,
so I'm doing that right now. Really had a focus on. You can see the website behind me and my YouTube channel. Really
mhm,
putting a big focus into training commercial real estate agents, because I'm
mm.
finding that we all get into an industry, and it's hard. And I think you deal with brokers every day. It's really hard to get the thing going, the business going. And so I really put a focus into it. I wrote a booklet that's all free. Everything on my website's free. The
Mhm,
booklet is your first 90 days in commercial real estate.
mm.
Really trying to help young people get into the industry, figure out the business, but doing a lot of that, and doing a lot of
Interesting.
mentoring with it, and then also doing some investing. Always out there looking for more deals. I think we're going to start seeing more activity over the next few months. Actually, we're seeing more activity in the brokerage here.
Well,
Not
that's
so much.
great.
Yeah,
Now, let me ask
finally,
you
right?
this. Yeah, let me ask you this. So what was it that you're doing a deal on right now that you're raising 5 million? What did you say it was?
Single tenant net lease deals.
Okay, so like
Yep,
triple net,
yep, yep. Triple
triple
net
net deal,
deals. Yeah,
like
these are
like
going to be
like
pretty
like a
stabilized.
Walgreens or what?
Yeah, fast
Okay,
food, Walgreens.
okay,
So my business partner George Pino, he's got he's been doing single STNL deals for years. He's done them in
okay,
39 states.
okay.
And the way it works in this brokerage industry is a lot of these guys don't put this on the market. They'll call each other, they email each other, go, "Hey, I'm putting this on the market. I want to talk to you about it because I know you're going to close on the deal." These
Right.
brokers are all know that each one of them is going to close. So we're out there going to start buying those. They're going to be very stabilized in the first syndication. Then we'll probably do another syndication where it'll be a little bit. We'll go for shorter term leases on the next one, meaning that there's 3, 5 years left. We'll go in, buy the property. We'll go in and talk to the tenant. Say, listen, let's renegotiate your lease. Let's really talk about how we're going to remodel the building, and then we'll increase revenue that way. So it's kind of
Yeah, because you don't. It's not like a value add deal like
yeah,
we do in the multifamily because
right.
the leases are very long term. They're triple net. How do you realize the profit? Is it more of just a yield play where you're just getting a fairly modest return on your
Yeah,
investment, but it's a secure
in the
return?
beginning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we
Okay,
look for places that there's gonna be a little bit of a appreciation play too. Like, we
right.
bought one in uh, Allen, Texas, and
Okay,
it's one of the fastest growing cities in the nation. And the
okay.
area that we're in, we're getting calls every week. Somebody wants to buy. We bought a Jack in the
Is
Box here. Really cool Jack in the Box. Has a fireplace in it, which I've never ever seen a Jack in the
oh,
Box
okay,
with a fireplace. So
okay,
now it's in Texas. So obviously during the winter it's a little too cold, summer's too hot, but spring and fall is pretty nice to sit out there and have your food in front of a fireplace.
okay.
And so, but that one's appreciation is going up nicely for being Texas. And then another one we
No,
bought.
no, hold on. Before you move from that,
Yep.
so, but the revenue doesn't go up. You're just looking at the value of the land appreciating. Is that correct?
No,
So
the
it's more of
revenue
a
goes up. The lease rate goes up every year.
Oh, it does. So it's got modest rent increases.
Yeah,
Okay.
it
Okay.
does.
Fair enough.
It does.
Okay. And what was the next one you were going to talk about?
Then we bought a Chase Bank, but now here's the kicker:
Okay.
this Chase Bank was going to go dark, and we knew that. So we
Okay.
bought it, and there were 7 years left on the lease. They were closing down. It's actually underutilized. It's a very big property. It's a little over an acre. So
Mm,
we're going to be able to take that and go back out to the marketplace when the lease gets down. We'll get to where there's just a few years left, and then we'll bring in a new tenant, and then we'll completely do it. We've been talking to a few clients already, which
mm.
is a little premature, but we'll re-tenant it, and that's going to drive the value up because that
Do you
area
go to,
right
do
now
you,
is really changing. A lot of people coming into the marketplace.
oh, okay. Okay. Sorry to interrupt. Do you
No,
go to ICSC in
I don't.
Vegas?
I
Oh,
don't.
you
Our
don't?
agents do. All of
Okay.
our agents do. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the International Conference of Shopping Centers, guys. I've gone a couple of times, very intimidating. The thousands and thousands of
It
people
is.
there. All of the retailers are there, all the big brokers are there, the big developers. And this is where they get together and they decide, hey, a Publix is going to go in here, a Walmart's going to
Mhm.
go in here, and so on and so forth. And it's pretty impressive. But okay, so um, is retail your primary thing?
Right now, it is for investing.
Yeah.
That's what we're focused on right now. But
I'm
brokerage,
really
commercial brokerage is full service. But yeah, as
yeah,
far as
yeah.
investing, yeah.
I'm really big on senior housing at this point, brother.
Oh,
I closed on my first ALF a few weeks ago. We've got another one we're doing an LOI on today that looks like a screaming deal in California. And we're buying these distressed ALFs that got killed by COVID, and the numbers are fantastic. They're even better than multifamily, and so considerably better actually. And
is there
so
government funding for it too?
well, no, you don't want
You
that's
don't.
that's very low in most states. Some states have decent yeah, it's Medicare payment, but not the states that we're in right now. So it's private pay. And the key is the operator. We've got a fantastic operator that we're working with. Because you want to make sure grandma's taken care of, and you hear these horror stories where dementia patients wander off the property and die in the cold or whatever, and abuse by these low paid employees. And I was just super impressed with this operator. They've got an incredible culture where they validate and praise and educate their employees, and just
Mhm.
keep them enthused and engaged. And it was very impressive because I've run big companies. I've owned a couple of very large companies that I built, and culture is such an important thing. And but these guys seem I think we're going to do really well with these guys, and we're going to just do the real estate piece. We're not doing the
Yeah,
operational piece. I don't want to be the one giving the meds and and doing
I
this
know.
actually.
One for you, one for me.
Yeah,
Seems
no,
like
yeah,
there could
no,
be
right.
some good days in there.
Right. Yeah. No. But no, I'm very excited about that asset class. It's 10,000 people a day turning 65 in this country, and like I said, the returns look great. I mean, it's a tidal wave of elderly. I mean, it's like
Yeah,
if you look at a
boomers are.
graph, it looks if you
Yeah,
look at a graph, it looks like a rat going through a snake. It's the
yeah,
baby boomers are just a huge demographic. They impacted everything from diapers to the created suburbia to you name it.
yeah.
But anyway, so that's something I'm interested in. But
Well, what's the sweet spot for you guys in that? On what
well,
side are you guys? Because the
well,
institutionals
right
going to
now,
the big.
yeah, we can't do the real big ones yet.
Right,
Until we've done some more of this. The one we're looking at now is 15 million. The raise is about 4, so it's not a huge raise.
right.
And but the returns are fantastic. 20% return, or 20 or 25%. I can't remember. I just had the conversation this morning, but the returns look fantastic. Conservatively fantastic, and so yeah, so very excited about that. We went to the NIC conference. Don't ask me what it stands for, but it's all senior housing. There were
Yeah, we're getting
4,000
ready
senior
to.
housing people there.
Yeah.
uh this was in Austin, Texas, about a month ago. And we got a ton of deals there because the big players are not interested in distressed deals. They want performing 90% occupied, A class stuff. And so us going for the value add in that asset class is just very exciting. So anyway, I wanted to mention it just because I'm excited about it.
Well,
But
I'm very interested in it
yeah,
because there was a big report out this morning how it's just a place to be investing, and you're already
yeah,
on it, of course.
yeah. I
Is
mean,
it like?
I turned 65 in January, and and I'm on that tip edge. I mean, just thinking 10 years at 75, and a lot of those people at that age need assisted living, and
Of
there's a
course.
huge shortage of beds, huge shortage.
Yeah.
So, and the cost to build new is very expensive. So, these existing facilities that had a challenge, are just very interesting. So, yeah.
What kind of amenities do you guys look at? I know, like my
Well,
parents
yeah.
are in one, and they were in one, and they had a hairstylist.
Uh-huh.
They had
Uh-huh.
all this stuff that they
Right.
never had to leave. I thought that was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, some of them are incredible. I mean,
Yeah.
theater rooms and things like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
most of them will have a hair salon of some sort because,
Yeah.
these old women love to have their hair all
Yeah.
foofed up and all that. But, I mean, you see all sorts of things, little putting ranges,
Yeah.
exercise rooms, yoga rooms, pools, things like that. The one we just bought in Pittsburgh really doesn't have much of anything, but the demographics there are fantastic. And I would not normally buy in Pittsburgh. Nothing against Pittsburgh, but it's just not a market I would target. But from a senior housing standpoint, it's the demand is fantastic. And so, but
Yeah.
some of them are really incredible.
Here's,
And
what's amazing, Rod, is I'm from central Nebraska, and
hmm
my parents lived in a town called St. Paul, Nebraska, and
hmm
it was 2,200 population. There was two or three retirement facilities in that little town, and they
hmm
were full with a waiting
yeah.
list.
hmm
So
Yeah.
it's largely farming communities, people moving off the
Well,
farm.
and here's the thing, I used to think that, you get old, you get cold, and you go south. But the reality is they don't want to move away from their kids,
Right.
and like my mom stayed in Denver, really Parker, but near Denver, where the bulk of the family was, and she loved the warmth. I bought her a house down here in Florida when she was mobile, and they sold it when she had to go into assisted living. I sold it for her when she had to go into assisted living, but I thought she'd want to come back down here to a facility. And she's like, no, she wants to be up there where the bulk of the grandkids are and all that stuff. So, you
She
know,
doesn't love you, Rod.
no, I went up there a lot, but
Yeah,
no,
sure
the
you
point,
did.
it's easy for me to travel, but,
Yeah.
but the point is, you would think that some of these northern cities wouldn't do well. They do really well because
Mhm.
people just don't move. They don't leave. And the numbers are just staggering. I mean, literally, and I'm worried about it, candidly. I mean, I think elderly people could be on literally living on the street at some point if these beds aren't, a lot of these facilities. I mean, it's just like affordable housing. There's a
Yeah.
huge affordable housing crisis. It's going to be the same thing for seniors. And so the demand is definitely there. That's what I'm excited about because it's got massive headwinds. I mean, tailwinds. So
Right.
yeah, but
How much construction is going on? I can imagine the new stuff has got to be big, right? They're probably not doing smaller
actually,
properties.
I'll tell you, it's not as much as you would think because of the interest rates and the cost of
Cost.
services and but it's going to pick up. It's definitely going to pick up. But see, it's just like multifamily. You build these, and they're pretty much A class. It's the same thing in
Yeah.
senior housing because you can't recoup your investment if you go the affordable route, unless there's government subsidies or things like that, which is likely going to happen. But I mean, we do a comparison. We did a comparison. We raised the money for this other deal of what we're paying for this one and what it would cost to build new, and it was
Mhm.
staggeringly different. Okay,
Okay.
and so just to show people, there's a big barrier to entry for that price point, for that price point that we're at. And so, yeah, no, it's very interesting. I mean, there's a lot of liability. This is why the operator is critical. And there are people that don't do the math right when they underwrite these things. They don't. You've really got to. It's different than multifamily. There's a lot of factors involved. The payroll is very high. The expense ratio is much higher than you'd have, of course, in multifamily because you've got nursing, you've got caregivers, you've got to have an activities director. Typically, in every one of these, you've got to have food and beverage director. And so the payroll
Dietitian.
is the
Yep.
biggest. Yeah, dietitian is the biggest piece, and the meds have to be provided. All that stuff. So there's a lot to it, and it's interesting. I actually got my assisted living administrator's license here in Florida back in 2007 because I was going to get into it then. I got the domain name affordableseniorhousing.com, and I was going to go. I hired a couple of people and I was ready to go. And then '08 happened and my world fell apart, and I kind of scrapped everything. But I was very interested back then. So I'm kind of going full circle with it here, Joe.
Man, you went all in early on, huh? To
Yeah,
get your
yeah,
administrator's
yeah.
license?
Well, I like the elderly, and
Yeah.
just like I like kids, and so, to me, it's kind of and I think you have to get into the business. And if you're listening and you're thinking about, hey, man, that sounds good, the numbers sound good. If you don't love the elderly, please don't, because they deserve respect and care and all of that. They've earned it, and so just be cognizant of that. You want to focus on their well-being more than the profit.
Yeah.
But
No,
yeah,
my parents were both in one, and I tell you
yeah,
what, it was. I don't know how the staff. I mean, there's so
right.
many skilled positions there that it's expensive to run, but they were amazing. They
Yeah, and they deal with anger a lot. They deal with
dementia
memory
especially.
issues. Like my mom was not a happy person towards the end, and she
Yeah,
was not happy to be around. And these people are so patient and loving, and and so yeah, I hear you.
yeah.
And there's a lot of that, and they're confused
Mhm.
and
Frustrated.
yeah, they're
Mhm.
very frustrated that they're not in their environment, their home environment. It's very hard to get them to go there very often as well. It was hard for my mom,
I'm sure.
yeah, no, it's yeah, going to this conference. They played this movie about the dementia um, trajectory
Yeah,
and how to deal with it and support people that are going through that, and it was really sobering, sad, very sad to see, like Bruce Willis, right?
oh
He's
god,
completely
yes.
gone at this point, and
Yeah,
it's very, very sad. But anyway,
yeah.
and so we kind of got, I kind of derailed the conversation there with that. But I mean, guys, I hope it's been interesting, because it really is, I think, an incredible opportunity moving forward. And if you have an interest in investing in one, reach out to me, or go to creecapital.com. That's creecapital.com, and talk to my team, because we've got another really good one coming down the line here, and the returns just look fantastic. But so,
How many are you guys trying to buy?
what's that?
How many are you guys trying to buy right now?
I really want to try to buy 12 in the next 18 months.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. Really, really kick it in gear. We're working through the systemization of it all right now, from the investor relations to the administrative piece, to facilitate the closings, to and then just the communication between us and the operator, which they're playing a big, heavy role in this. They've done about $1 billion in full cycle deals, just to give you an
right.
idea. I mean, these are real players. They've full cycle guys means they've bought them, they've fixed them up, the returns are fantastic, and they've sold them, and they showed us their whole portfolio of deals that they've done is very impressive as well. And so yeah, so they're heavily involved, and they're nationwide. So yeah, very exciting.
Yeah, having that kind of support, I don't care if you're doing retirement home, you're doing multifamily, having that team, you've got
Oh
to
yeah,
put the team together.
yeah, yeah. That's the big thing. So your big thing right now is helping people that want to get into the commercial real estate or broker space, to become a broker and agent, to sell commercial real estate. So you're focusing on that, and you're buying these triple net single tenant lease deals. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we
No.
got, I know the last time I was really focused on the investing, and, we have agents here in we got 20 some agents in our brokerage, and, I see them. I've got agents that have been in the business for a year. They've done 6 deals already. Well,
Yeah, wow.
a few of them, some of them have done 3,
Hmm.
but, and then you talk to some of our competitors, and these agents well, we didn't plan on making money for a year to 2 years. I'm like, well, why not? And, the thing is, in these brokerages, there's no training. That's why we had a
Really?
big turnover. There's no training. So you'll come
Yeah.
in, let's say you go to a big firm, they're going to say, Rod, you're a broker there. And you say, Joe, you got to go under Rod. He's going to show you the ropes. Okay, that's great. He's going to do my training. But if Rod is getting so you're my senior, I'm the junior, I'm out there cold calling, bringing you business every day. How compelled are you going to be to train me very hard?
Yeah.
Because I'm out there making you money.
Right.
So it really gets backward. Then people end up running out of money and dropping out. So
Mm,
I put this
mm.
content out, on the blog that's on my website, the booklet that's on my website, the YouTube channel under my name. It's all geared toward really helping people really figure out how they can build their business because
How they can build that sales business and commercial real estate.
yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah. So I mean, I know what you're doing. You know what I'm doing.
Mhm.
It's always great to reconnect with you, brother.
Oh, I love hearing about what you guys are doing. You're in
Thanks.
a space that I think is just getting started to really take off. I was reading an
Yeah.
article this morning about it.
Yeah.
That and data centers. It's kind of a big boys play.
Yeah.
It's the top guys are out there because it takes figuring out the power. I mean, they're talking about nuclear power in some of these
Oh,
places.
listen to this. I just heard Bezos talk about data centers in space,
Yeah,
because they have unlimited solar, uninterrupted solar. It's
yeah,
cool. It's
yeah,
cold. Keep it cool. Man, that's interesting. And then they beam it
yeah,
down or whatever. But he said that's coming. He said that's coming. And then this whole AI thing. It's like
uh,
holy cow. You hear some of these people talk about AI, and it's very sobering. I mean, they talk about the
yeah,
chance that we could be out of. We could be gone in 3 years. You see these autonomous planes, fighter planes. You see these robots. You see all this, and I'm thinking, it reminds me of a movie, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Rod, we brought in a company. I can't use the name. We signed a pretty good NDA on it, but
Okay.
so they're going to be human carrying drones. We have all around. I bet you do in Florida too. All the Waymo cars around.
Oh yeah, Waymo, the
We're
food being
everywhere out
delivered
here.
in Miami by these little freaking robots that go down the
Yep, food,
sidewalk. Yeah.
cocoa, whatever it is. Well, we put
Right.
in, so it should be by the time the Olympics get here in a few years. You're going to be able to come into, let's say you go to LAX and you
Mm-hmm.
can get on your phone and say, okay, I want a car, but I want to go to the drone landing pad. You're going to be able to get in the car, go to a drone landing pad, get in a drone, human carrying drone. And it's now, we had to work with FAA to bring you a path
Right.
that you had to go down. And it'll
Right.
take you like to downtown LA or to
Uh-huh.
Encino. And
Uh-huh.
it's going to take you a few minutes compared to
Right.
sitting in hours in traffic. It's going to be hardly about the cost of a Uber X, is where it's sitting at right now. But
Wow.
eventually, in the beginning, the first 2 years, there's going to be pilots sitting there. They're not actually going to be flying the drones,
Right.
but
But
they're going to be
just in
in the
case.
cockpit. Yeah.
Right.
But after 2 years, you're going to go get in a drone all by yourself, just
Right.
like you do in the Waymo, and away you're going to go and fly to
Like the
downtown.
Jetsons, just like the Jetsons back in the day,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Now they've tested it in Singapore and Brazil, and they've
Yeah,
been
no,
doing
I
it.
see it on TikTok all the. I see that. I
Yeah.
see the test flights, and they've got all these
Yeah.
propellers on them and stuff. And who knows
Yeah.
what AI is going to come up with as other projection, uh, you know, possibilities and whatnot, because it's already smarter than we are. But yeah, it's very interesting and very sobering. So but
Crazy.
yeah.
Fun
Well,
times.
listen, brother, it's great to see you again, and keep kicking ass. And I appreciate you
Yeah.
adding value on the commercial real estate agent side. And
Yeah.
we'll talk again soon, huh?
All right, Rod. Thank you very much.
All right.